All right. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep. Oh, let's get started. So I'm not walking right now, obviously, but I was tapping my foot, trying to keep like a rhythm, like a mental rhythm, doing something else essentially. And because the book says, in order to do 23 times 78, something in your head, something that would take someone to think about before, unless unless you've been trained for that specifically, it's very difficult for a normal person to do 23 times 78 while doing something else. Let's say you play, the book says for if you're walking, let's say hypothetically, your friend is walking, you and your friend are walking together, and you ask your friend to do 23 times 78 inside their head. And the book is saying the friend will most certainly stop in his tracks and calculate that, because it takes a certain amount of mental strain and focus to calculate, to do that calculation. So I was doing it, and I found myself struggling a little bit because you have to, your short-term memory has to be quite excellent. So I think I got, well, I forgot. I believe it was 1794. So 1794. Let me run that again. 78, so that's 156. And then we got 3. 3, that's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 15, 6, 2, 3, 4, 17, 3, 6, 17, 9, 4. Yeah, it's 1794. Or I could be wrong, actually. I don't know. But my experience, so I'm reading from, but cannot engage in mental work that imposes a heavy load on short-term memory. If I must construct an intricate argument under time pressure, I would rather be still, and I would prefer sitting to standing. Of course, not all slow thinking. Of course, not all slow thinking requires that form of intense concentration and effortful computation. I did the best thinking of my life on leisurely walks with Amos. I agree with this because there was sorry, I didn't mean to sigh. There was this period of time during COVID when I was working out. I was cycling around my neighborhood, and it wasn't just a casual 20-30 minute cardio session. It was about 2 hours every day, about 5 days a week. So I was trying to get really fit, really in shape. I was trying to burn a lot of calories. I was trying to get my body shaped in that phrase. And 50-60 minute cycling ride, it takes a lot on you, right? Because you have to be mentally ready to be doing that in one session. I never had breaks in between. It was always 40-50 minute sessions, continuous, non-stopping. And one time I got bored. I was listening to music was fun, but then I got bored, and I was like, there must be something else that I can do during this time, to something else that I may do to help myself with something. It wasn't a means of being entertained, but it was just something that I wanted to do in order to help myself a little bit. I write music on the side, so but the problem is, if and I believe this applies for a lot of musicians, but when they have an idea, when they have a melody, they have to immediately either record it or they have to write it down. If it's about lyrics, if they have perfect pitch and they know how to write music immediately, in their own decipherable way, they would jot it down on their phone. But I'm cycling, so I can't access my phone at the moment, and I don't want to stop. So that was a no go. So what I did was I just started doing computations in my head, simple multiplications, single digit multiplications. But then single digits were too easy, or rather, I was too familiar with them. So I started doing a lot of double digit, and single digit ones. And I still remember it. I don't know why I remember it, but I remember doing them constantly and feeling some sort of elation when I was able to accomplish them. It was difficult, but it was just something about you know, being active and doing something in my head that was not only satisfying but rewarding in a positive, blissful way. So that's something that you know it wasn't the best thinking, and excuse me for phrasing it like that. I didn't mean it in any sort of condescending way or negative way, but what I'm trying to say in ultimately was it active movement helped me to get to think, essentially, think differently than how I would be, sitting down or staying still. When I was in middle school, I used to read books while walking back home, but I couldn't do that anymore because my eyesight is egregiously just just bad. My eyesight is super bad, so I can't focus when I'm walking anymore. So that's a very unfortunate thing. Shoot, that's a habit. Closing the book like that. Um, I really wish in the future, 10, hopefully 10, 15 years down the line, we have a lot of fixes for the problems for physical problems that arise within our bodies. You know, loss of hearing, decreased eyesight, dental problems, heart problems, lung problems. I really wish we have a lot of solutions. I don't really care how much it's gonna cost, but just knowing that there's a solution available, I think it's a super like a glimmer of hope, I guess. Yeah. 'Cause can you imagine losing your sight permanently? Can you imagine losing your hearing permanently? Until the rest of your life. I don't know how I would survive if such a thing would happen to me. Tragic. something without exerting willpower. Low state of effortless concentration. Shit. Am I in a flow? It's taking me 26 minutes to read one page. I think I have a problem. short-term memories with pointless anxious thoughts. here's a catch. If you need to talk to someone, always do it after they've eaten. Always do it after they have some glucose inside their systems. You're certain that lunch breaks are probably the best. Shortly after lunch breaks, maybe an hour or two. Not even two, maybe an hour and a half, like max. The reason why I say this is the book portrays an important connection between glucose and your ability, your cognitive ability. Um, Ouch! Did I just get a paper cut? Ouch. It says the bold implication of this idea is that the effects of ego depletion could be undone by ingesting glucose. And they've actually confirmed this hypothesis in several experiments. One of the main functions of system 2 is to monitor and control thoughts and actions suggested by system 1, allowing them to be expressed directly in behavior and suppressing or modifying others. Here's a simple method to try to solve it. Listen to your intuition. A bad ball costs $1 and the bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Do not try to solve it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, never mind. It's 5 cents and then $1.05. So the bat is $1.05, and then the ball is 5 cents. Here, so this is about intuition. It's to monitor and not intuition. One of the main, let me just read this. One of the main functions of System 2 is to monitor and control thoughts and actions suggested by System 1, allowing some to be expressed directly in behavior and suppressing or modifying others. For an example, here's a simple puzzle. Do not try to solve it, but listen to your intuition. A bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Now here, I immediately thought it was, I thought it was $1. I thought that so the two of them were $1.10. So one of them cost, in this case, the bat cost $1, and then the ball cost 10 cents. That's obviously wrong. It should be the ball is 5 cents, and then the bat is $1.05. Let me read this. A number came to your mind. The number, of course, is 10 cents. The distinctive mark of this easy puzzle is that it evokes an answer that is intuitive, appealing, and wrong. Do the math, and you will see. If the ball costs 10 cents, then the total cost will be $1.20. 10 cents for the ball and $1.10 for the bat, not $1.10. The correct answer is 5 cents. It is safe to assume that the intuitive answer also came to the mind of those who ended up with the correct number. They somehow managed to resist the intuition. Jane, Frederick, and I worked together instead of all costs 10 cents. That person did not actively check whether the answer was correct, and her system to endorse the intuitive answer that it could have rejected with a small investment of effort. Furthermore, we also know that the people who gave the intuitive answer have missed an obvious social cue. They should have wondered why anyone would include in a questionnaire a puzzle with such an obvious answer. A failure to check is remarkable because the cost of checking is so low. A few seconds of mental work. The problem is moderately difficult with slightly tensed muscles, with slightly tensed muscles and dilated pupils could avoid an embarrassing mistake. People who say 10 cents appear to be ardent followers of the law of least effort. People who avoid that answer appear to have more active minds. It's also wrong for you to think of it in a narcissistic way, but it's not saying it, it's saying what it is. It's not applying to you. That's true. He's saying it's subjective. He's saying it objectively. It's wrong. Why is it wrong? All roses are flowers. Some flowers fade quickly. Therefore, some roses fade quickly. Yeah, some roses. Should be all roses fade quickly? Alright, let me read this and let me know if any of you guys kind of catch this. All roses are flowers. Some flowers fade quickly. Therefore, some roses fade quickly. I initially said yes, it's valid because it says, what do you call it? So the question, the prompt is, shh. Okay, it says try to determine as quickly as you can. So I try to do as quickly as I can. I was like, wait, so all roses are flowers. Some flowers fade quickly. Therefore, some roses fade quickly. Yeah, I mean, it says all roses are flowers, and some flowers fade quickly. Therefore, some roses fade quickly. But it's not valid because it should say, because all roses are flowers and some flowers fade quickly. It should say, therefore, all roses fade quickly. Not some, all roses. I think. Or is that wrong? I mean, it's not valid. I thought it was valid, but it's not valid. But I don't think that was the correct. I don't think that was the correct fix. Wait, all roses are flowers, right? And some flowers fade quickly. But you don't know if. But you can't determine if roses. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Not only was I wrong with the original thing, but I was wrong with um, the corrected thing. Yeah, the argument just doesn't make sense. And I gotta sleep. Oh my god. But yeah, this has been a chatty session. I'm gonna go to sleep. Tired. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.